Hello everyone, this is Varsha. Welcome to Programming Knowledge. Today we will understand what is automation testing, what is test automation, life cycle of automation testing, manual testing and its challenges. So let's get started. First, what is automation? Now this is the definition I have taken from the internet, but let us understand. Automation is the creation and the application of technologies to produce and deliver goods and services with minimum human intervention. Basically, automation is to create and deliver goods and services with minimum human intervention. This is the technical definition. Let us take up an example and understand it. It will be very easy and clear. Just imagine a construction site where there are workers working to dig a tunnel. Like you can see in the image, you can see that there are many workers involved in digging one tunnel. So this is manual work. Okay. What if we use a machine to dig a tunnel? That will be automation. Like here you can see in the image, it will minimize the labor, or it will substitute the laborers that are working on the site, which in turn will reduce cost. Why? Because this machine can perform the work of at least 7 to 8 people. So it will reduce the cost. It will substitute the workers that were working on the site. Next, it will increase the production output. Why? Because it is performing the work of 7 to 8 people. So obviously it will increase the production output. Next, we have that it improves the response time, because through automation or through machines you can get a large amount of production in less time. So it will improve your response time. Next, we have that improves the work safety. Now there might be a condition or some condition where it might harm the workers. There might be a situation where they might be working in some conditions where it must be harming them. So through automation, it is using machines, so it will provide worker safety also. And yes, it will provide also, there will be proper time utilization because of automation, that is the machines that will be used, because there will be less human intervention in it. So if we use automation machines, it will reduce cost, increase production output, improves the response time, improve work safety and proper time utilization. So the major goals of automation is to save time, save your effort and save money. These are the main goals of automation. Okay, now we know what is automation. Automation are of two types, that is the automation testing and test automation. See, while you must think that like these are the different ways to say the same thing, but these terms actually have very different meanings. Okay, now see, automation testing means using an automation tool to execute your test cases. Whatever test cases were executed in manual testing, you can automate it through using automation tool, and that is called automation testing. Whereas test automation, on the other hand, is basically the automatic and effortless execution of predefined tests. Now see, automation testing involves the process of automating the execution of test cases, whereas test automation involves continuous testing. That is, we need to schedule automation tests after every feature update. Is called as test automation. Let me take up an example. It will be very easy. Okay, so suppose you need to write a test script. Okay, you need to write a test script in which first the user will log in and then it will log out. Okay, this is the build one, you say, which is, you need to write the test script where the user will log in and then it will navigate it to the home page and then it will log out. You need to write an automation test script for this. Okay, so this is called as automation testing. Why? Because we are performing a specific task. Now, how is it different from test automation? Let me explain. Now suppose there's another feature that is added. A feature is added, that is the search functionality. Okay, the search functionality. So now you want to write a test script in which the user will first log in. It will get navigated to the home page. It will search the product that they want. That product, they will search the product and they will log out. Okay, this is build 2. Okay, so the flow goes like, the first the user will log in, it will go to the home page, they need to search a product and they need to log out. This is the functionality, and the new functionality that is added, the search functionality. Okay, this is how the process goes. Now again, there is a new build that came out in which a new feature was added. Now again, a new functionality was added, that is the add to cart. Okay, here we want that the user should log in, search the product that they want, add their product to the cart and log out. Okay, this process we need to automate it through test scripts, in which the user first logins and gets navigated to the home page, and then they will search the product that they want. They will add the product to the cart and they will log out. Okay, now this process of automating these builds is called as test automation. Why? Let me tell you. Because we are scheduling automation scripts after every update. After there is every update, the first update that we have is the search functionality. Then the next update that we have is the add to cart functionality, right? This is the build 3, I can say. Yes. So what is the similarity between the build 1, build 2 and build 3? See, first, build 1 and build 2, the similar functionality that we have in build 1 and build 2 is the login and the logout functionality. Okay, in build 2 we have the login, search and logout functionality. So here we are doing continuous testing of login, search and logout functionality in build 2 and build 3. That is the reason why it is called as test automation, because test automation is related to continuous testing. That is, we are scheduling automation scripts for after every update that we get, we are scheduling an automation script for it. Whereas automation testing is related to specific task. Whatever task that we had performed in manual testing, we'll just automate it in automation testing. That is, there is login functionality or registration functionality or some other functionality. So automation testing is the testing which is related to specific task. And test automation is scheduling the automation scripts after every update. It is related to continuous testing. Now see, both these automation testing and test automation, they have the same objective, to produce quality product to their client. The same objective they both are having. I hope you have understood the difference between the automation testing and test automation. So moving on to the next concept is the automation testing life cycle. Now the very first thing that comes into our mind is that why should we learn the automation testing life cycle? First thing, it is asked for interviews. Okay. The second thing is that automation testing is an effective way to meet the testing goals. Now, what are your testing goals? The first one is to reduce human intervention. Second one is to save time. Third one, that you get an expected output in minimum time. And all these are achieved through appropriate timelines and with adequate resources. Now, what if there is no timeline, there is no resources, we don't know how to execute it? So what will happen? It will obviously cause a failure. Automating tests without a plan or a sequence can lead to massive scripts, which can often fail and involve a lot of human intervention in it. Okay, so that is the reason why we are studying the automation testing life cycle. Now here I'll be telling you the entire life cycle of automation testing. I'll be also explaining you which test cases are to be automated and which test cases we have to perform manual testing. See, manual testing is always done first and then the automation testing is done. But the question is that which test cases should we perform automation testing? Okay. So let's move on and understand it very carefully. Now there is a developer which has developed an application according to the user requirement, and this application is known as the build one. Okay. Now the developer will assign this application to the tester to test it, to identify the defects. So what will the tester do? The tester will perform manual testing on build one. Obviously manual testing is done first, so manual testing will be performed first. Now just assume there are some 50 functionalities and all are tested through manual testing. These 50 functionalities are tested through manual testing. Okay, so when all these functionality are tested through manual testing, and what they will do, that they will give this build to the client to check whether the application is properly developed according to their requirement or not. See here, there are many people involved, like the PA, the QA, the project manager, etc. There are many people. Okay, so as a tester, you will not deliver the application to the client. Obviously, no. But just to create an understanding that which test cases should be automated and which one to do manual testing, I'm just creating an understanding for you. Okay. So coming back to the process, like there are 50 functionalities and all are tested through manual testing, and the build is given to the client to check if they meet their requirement or not. What the client does, they check it. Now the client wants to change some functionalities. Now let us assume like out of 50, 20 functionalities need to be changed. So what the developer will do? Developer will change all those functionality and give the build to the tester to test it. Now this is build 2. Okay, now here the automation testing starts. Here you will get to know what to automate, what not to, in which we have to do manual testing. So when the tester receives this build 2, now whatever test cases were written for the previous build, like for the build 1, cannot be reused again because those 20 functionality has been changed completely. Okay, so what the tester will do, they will check what all changes have been made to these 20 functionalities. And what they will do, they will perform automation testing for these 20 functionalities. This is where automation comes into a picture. Okay, and this process of testing build 2 again for the 20 functionalities is called as retesting in manual testing. This is a major challenge of manual testing also. I will explain that later, but I'm just telling you that which test case to perform manual testing and which case test cases should be performed automation testing. So now we know that there are 50 functionalities, out of which 20 they need to make entire changes in it. So what the tester will do, the tester will intimate the test manager. The test manager will prepare a test plan. The test plan which includes that which test cases to be automated and which test cases to be done manual testing, and all those reports have been made by the test manager. So I hope you have understood that which test cases to be done manual testing and which test cases to be done automation testing. That is, the 20 test cases which were changed are to be done automation testing, and the 10 and 30 test cases out of 50 were done through manual testing. Okay, so I hope it's clear that which test cases to be done automation and which test cases manual testing in. So now I'll be explaining the life cycle of automation testing. Till now I was just explaining that which test case to do manual testing and automation testing. Now the real automation testing life cycle will get started. See, once the test plan is prepared by the test manager, the test manager organizes KT sessions, that is the knowledgeable transferable sessions, for the automation testers from the manual testers. Now see, there's a group of automation testers. These automation testers work on many projects. Like here there might be 20 bills, in some other project there might be 30 bills or 40 bills or 50 bills. So depending on that, they provide KT sessions by the manual testers, because they need to tell the functionality of the application first, and the automation tester need to understand the functionality, all those 20 functionalities which were changed. So they will explain all those 20 functionality to the automation testers, what the functionality, what is the features in it, and everything. So once the automation tester knows what are the functionalities and the knowledge has been shared within the team, then the test automation requirement is being identified. Now, what is a test automation requirement? Test automation is that they prioritize the manual test cases for automation. What are the test cases? Like there are a list of 10 to 20 test cases, and just giving an example, list of 10 to 28 test cases, and out of that the 4 to 5 test cases are need to be done on priority. So they will prioritize each and every manual test case, and they will also decide that which web elements they need to interact with. See, web elements are like the drop down boxes, the menu buttons, the text boxes that you see, the GUI buttons that you see, right? Those are web elements. We will interact with it, we will understand that. So they will understand all those web elements, and they will prepare a test automation requirement, and they will understand what is the requirement. Okay, so the next process is test plan and estimate. After knowing what is the requirement, they will plan and estimate. Here the automation tester will prepare a test plan, automation test plan. Like they will understand the software, the network requirements, the hardware requirements, and environment test data requirement that they require to interact with the web elements. So this is test plan, automation test plan. Then we have the automation design phase. Here we prepare the automation design document, in which they will select which framework they need to work in. Like first, there are different types of frameworks, like the data driven framework, the hybrid framework. So you need to decide which framework you need to select, and they will also identify the test data for the web elements. After we decide the automation design or the framework that we have decided, we need to implement it. That is, we have the test automation development. That is, we have to create test scripts, you have to execute it, and we need to create a build, we need to execute the framework that we are selecting. That is test automation development. After you have developed, you need to create automation release notes, in which they will contain the documentation, scripts, and summary reports, and etc. Like you have developed it, you have automated that feature, right? Those 20 features where they are automated. So you need to create a document like in which what type of framework you have used, what are the network requirements, what are the software and hardware requirements, and what are the scripts, and everything in the summary, proper summary report has been given. That is a test delivery stage. And after that, you have handed all the reports and scripts and everything, you sign off the project. That is the project closure. So this is the entire process of software or testing lifecycle, in which we have the KT session first. That is, the manual testers give the KT sessions to the automation testers, explaining the features and functionalities. And then we have the test automation requirement, in which we prioritize our manual test cases, and we need to understand what are the web elements we need to interact. Then we have the test plan and estimate, where we can we can make the test plan, the automation test plan for the software, hardware requirements. Then we will select the framework which we need to work on. We will implement those framework. We will create test script, execute it, and prepare a proper documentation and give it to the team. So this is the entire software testing life cycle. I hope you have understood everything. So moving to the next topic is manual testing and its challenges. Now see, basically there are two challenges in manual testing. One is retesting, and the second is regression testing. So what is retesting? Let us first understand what is retesting. Now retesting is done to make sure that the test cases which failed in the last execution are passing after those failures are fixed. It's called retesting. Let us take up an example. Suppose we have a username field and a password field. Okay, you need to perform manual testing on these fields. So what will they be? Like suppose we write a test case where we need to verify that the user enters valid username, valid password, then verify that the user enters invalid username, invalid password, verify that the user enters invalid username and valid password, verify that the user enters valid username and invalid password. Like there can be many test cases. Let us assume there are like 5 test cases in the first build. Let us take this is build 1. Build 1. Okay. So now after testing, obviously we match the expected result and the actual result, and we pass a status to it, that is the pass or fail. So let us assume that the test case 1 is passed, test case 2 is failed, test case 3 is again failed. We are just assuming test case 4 is passed and the test case 5 is failed. Now the test cases which are failed are the test case 2, test case 3 and test case 5. These all are failed. In terms of manual testing, we call it as defect. So what will happen if a defect has been found? Obviously the tester will prepare a defect report and they give it to the development team. The development team fixes those bugs, fixes those defects, and they give it to the tester to test it. Okay, this is the entire process. So once it is given to the tester, what the tester will do? Tester is having the build 2. What they will do? They will test the failed test cases like the test case 2, test case 3, test case 5, and if it is a new build, obviously there will be some more functionality or some build have been changed, so they might add up some test cases, or we can just assume that there is some test cases that is added. So now they will execute it. These test cases, like they will match the expected result and the actual result, and they'll pass a status to it. So the status they have passed, like test case 2 is passed, test case 3 is again failed, test case 5 is again failed, test case 6 is failed. So now what will happen? Again, test case 3, test case 5, test case 6, again they are failed. They will be given to the development team, they fix it, and then again it will give it to the tester. Again it is build 3 and the test cases are again executed. The expected result and the actual result are again matched. That is the test case 3, test case 5, test case 6, and again it is a new build, so more test cases are added and so on. This goes on. This is called as retesting. Why it is called as retesting? Because we are making sure that the test cases which were built in the last execution, like here you can see the test cases that were failed in the last execution, which were the test cases which were failed in build 1. The test case 2, test case 3, test case 5, these were the test cases which were built in build 1. Then in build 2, test case 3, test case 5 and test case 6 were failed. So what are you doing? We are retesting it, right? In build 2 again we have retested test case 2, test case 3 and test case 5. Even though test case 3 and 5 were failed, but we are retesting it, right? Retesting is to make sure that the test cases which were failed in the last execution are passing after those failures are fixed. That is called retesting. Now let us understand what is regression testing. Now here same we have the username and the password field, and we have the build 1 that is given by the development team. We have test case 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 test cases, let us assume, in which the test case 2 in which we have the test case 2, test case 3 and test case 5 are failed. Now what is regression testing? Regression testing is to carry out to confirm whether a recent program or a code change has not affected the existing features. What I'm trying to say is that when we get the build 2, there is a code change, right? The developer has changed the code because those test cases were failed. It was not as per the requirement. So they have changed the code, right? The build 2 is changed. What is regression testing? Regression testing is done for the past test cases also. Like here you can see test cases 2, test case 3 and test case 5 are failed. But the test case 1 and test case 4 are passed, right? So we will do manual testing for all the test cases which are passed as well as failed. Why? Because we need to see that code change is not affecting the existing features. What if suppose we got the build 2? These are the test cases, like the test case 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 5. Same functionality, that the username and password. How will we do regression testing? Regression testing will be conducted for the past test cases also. That is, the test case 1 will also be tested, test case 2, test case 3, test case 4 and test case 5. All the test cases will be tested. There's nothing like failed test case or past test case. Why? Because there's a code change and we need to test that code change is not affecting the existing features. Now what if after the code change the test case 1 is failed, the test case 2 is failed, test case 3 is passed, the test case 4 is passed and the test case 5 is failed? What if this happens? Again, test case 1, test case 2, test case 5 are failed, right? So they will be tested, and test case 3 and test case 4, they will also be tested. Do you get it? This is called as regression testing. I hope you have understood the concept of regression testing and retesting. Let me tell you the difference between the two. Retesting is done only for failed test cases. Retesting is done only for failed test cases. Whereas regression testing is done for past test cases as well as failed test cases. Okay, this is the main difference between the regression testing and the retesting. And the purpose behind retesting is done on the basis of defect fixing. We just need to fix the defect. There is no more other intention behind doing retesting. What is that? Defect fixing. That's it. Whereas in regression testing, we are testing that the changes should not have any side effect on the existing features, on the existing feature. This is the major difference between the retesting and the regression testing. Retesting is done for the failed test cases, whereas regression testing is done for the past as well as the failed test cases. The purpose behind the retesting is the defect fixing, whereas the purpose behind regression testing is that there should not be any side effect on the existing feature. This is the difference between the retesting and regression testing. Now, these are the major challenges of manual testing. Because of this, it has increased a lot of time. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of manpower. Now, here we just have 5 test cases. So, what if there's a big functionality? There might be 100 or 120 test cases or 200 test cases. So it takes a lot of time, money, cost, and there's not efficient output also. That is the reason why automation testing came into picture. So this is all about today. In the next lecture, I will explain Selenium. What is the Selenium source, like the IDC, RC, the WebDriver, and what are the features, what are the advantages and disadvantages of selenium. So stay tuned. Until then, goodbye. Please like, share and subscribe this video. Thank you.